Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video on Feather Prowess, which is a sort of mix-up of the two respective decks of both Feather and Prowess cards like Soul-Scars and Clever Lumimancers. Basically, the deck is looking to take advantage of single target buffs like Defiant Strike, or Fight as One, or Maximize Velocity, or what have you, and apply them to particularly problematic creatures like your Feathers or your 10th Districts, or really even the Prowess creatures, to make really big dudes and hit our opponents very hard, very fast. To that end, we have some support spells in here that aren't necessarily the Feather or Prowess related. Again, Skyclave Apparitions, great removal on a body. Rip Apart is flexible enough in the main board to have, since you'll always want to make use of it, and you still can make some use of it from Prowess. Lightning Helix for some reach, the Arcanist and the Lightscribe as some additional little spell synergies in there that you can make good use of on your board. And one of the main reasons I made this deck is that I faced another opponent running a similar deck with Invigorated Rampage, and this card is a very, very good card, low-key all-star. You can really blow people out with this little unassuming uncommon from Kaladesh. Lands, pretty simple. I just have shock lands, snarls, even split of basics, couple dens, and some castles to use if we need to, if we're flooding. That's the main board. For the sideboard, Devout Decrees, some red and black hate, Rip Apart, usually brought in as artifact or enchantment removal if it's necessary. A couple Wrath of Gods, since there are decks like elves and stuff that can go a little wider than you can. And I know you shouldn't wipe your own board, but I stand by the fact that a nice Wrath of God in your sideboard is just a nice little insurance policy should shit go sideways. I have a couple of Burning Hands, since big green decks can sort of out-ramp you, and if a deck is able to resolve like an Elder Gargaroth or something and have a few turns with that, you just lose. We have 3 copies of Fry to deal with the particularly annoying blue and white control shenaniganery that exists in the format. 1 copy of Teferi's Protection as a sort of combo protection card. Usually an opponent's combo deck will require that they can interact with us in some degree, whether it be targeting us or just, hitting us with all their dudes. Teferi's Protection is a nice oh shit spell. Also running 2 Rampaging Ferocidons as some life gain hate, since that's common enough in the format. Also, if our opponent goes wide, again, in like an Elves deck or something, we can also make use of that to turn the Ferocidon into some reach. And that is Red-White Feather Prowess in our new, experimental shorter deck tech phase. There will be a deck list in the description below. And with that all out of the way, we'll go right into game number 1. Game number 1 with Feather Prowess. We'll go ahead and go first because we have a brain. This isn't bad. It's not going to win any awards, but we can set up a pretty explosive opening if we do this correctly. Of course, we'll see if our opponent here is running enough removal. If they're running a lot of removal, this will be a little bit difficult to get set up, situated. Team Retrion. We'll go ahead and play the second Lumimancer. Set up for an Arcanist if we need to. Mountain from our opponent. Team or something. Oh, that about makes sense. So again, we'll Lumimancer. And I'm not even gonna attack. I want to save our Lightning Helix if they try to remove our Lumimancers again. Island from our opponent. Risen Reef. Going against Elementals. Honestly, not that bad. Okay, we'll do Snarl here. Honestly, we'll probably just You know, we'll go ahead and Dreadhorde Arcanist, take a turn off. If our board survives undisturbed as is, we are in a really, really good spot. Let's see, Sultai Triome, access to 4 lands. Hasn't cast any spells, so we're okay on that front. See what our opponent does. Easy does it, cat. God damn it. Well, there's always something. Pulling my head in 9 different directions. Okay, we can do some good stuff here. We'll Invigorated Rampage, split over 2 creatures. Then we'll go ahead and Lightning Helix their face. We'll attack Dreadhorde Arcanist, recasting the Invigorated Rampage. Again, splitting it over 2 creatures. Showing that this deck can be really, really hurt a lot if given the opportunity. See what our opponent does. They could very easily turn the corner this turn. Runs Epiphany by our opponent. Alright, time walking some birds. Next opponent, the next turn. Faithless looting from our opponent. See what he checks. It's weirdly in the tank for having 5, basically 6 mana. Discarded a Terror of the Peaks and a Genesis Ultimatum. See what our opponent does. Let's see. Of course, we're like 1 shy of where we want to be. Don't have any 1-cost spells, so we can't make terrible use of the Arcanist right now. We could Den here, hit with a 3/2. Yeah, we'll go ahead and activate the Den. Yeah, we'll go ahead and attack. Why not? Want to apply as much pressure to our opponent as we can, seeing how there's a real chance. Okay, so they block with their whole board. So they're either... Oh. What the hell? You cast target instant sorcery artifact from graveyard without paying its cost. Spell cast this way, put in your graveyard, exile this thing. Alright, they turned the corner. Cool, we're going against, Okay, yeah, there's no, like, what's the word? Preparing for that. You couldn't do anything with that. So we'll just rerun it. Hopefully draw more aggressive. Might need to mulligan more aggressively. Again, we'll go first. Hopefully have a better game this time. Okay, we can do that. That's not bad. We can do that. Probably 10th District on turn 2. Then maybe a Lightscribe on 3 with the maximized velocity. Although... Let's see, one to there, goes there, I don't get the counter. Okay, I think, yeah, we like that plan. Go ahead and 10th District Legionnaire next turn. Triumph from our opponent again. Go ahead and attack. Well, let's see what we draw before we make too many rash decisions. Let's see, our opponent has a Team of Triumph and a Pathway. Prosperous Innkeeper. And immediately cashes it into Faithlessly Loot. I think, again, we'll honestly just 10th district here. They block with their Innkeeper, so that's some life gain. Rested. Another Triome and another looting. We're going to have to really start turning on this real fast, otherwise we're going to have this game slowly get away from us. But I believe we'll be able to do that with relative ease. Go ahead and enters tapped. We'll play the Lightscribe and give it haste to maximize velocity. One can make an argument that we should maybe have maximized velocity on the 10th district, but I believe that casting it on the Lightscribe gives me more overall damage. It's Mastery into Genesis Ultimatum. I genuinely believe that card might actually have been a mistake in the format, because it effectively lets like people ramp like 3 for a single turn, which is weird. It's like kind of a I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a very, very salty person. Oh, good. Grape shot. That's lovely. It's actually not that bad, though. Well, okay. I guess that last one's an oddball one. Don't mind me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we got lethal. We will Apparition down their Risen Reef, and then maximize velocity at 10th district. Whichever one we do is not terribly important. Doesn't even matter what we draw, so we're just gonna be polite here, not BM. Let's get to 6, and which is exact lethal. Ayy! Alright, game 1. I'll take it. Anywho, on to game number 2. Game number 2 with Feather Prowess. Quick note while we have a second. I realize now, in hindsight, that our opponent just quit out after... Our game number 1 opponent just kind of quit after the second game. I try normally not to keep those, but I feel that, like, both of those both of those games, we can keep those in the video because they did a good job at demonstrating what the deck is and wants to do. Hi, Smokey. Hello, my fluffy little baby girl. Do you want to come and hang out with the cat dad? Opponent goes first. We have 2 lands. But nothing to do with them. I might hate this, but I'm actually going to mulligan. This is better. We'll go ahead and chuck the Apparition because we don't have the extra land to get there. Actually, yeah, no. We'll go ahead and Snarl on 1, playing a Lumimancer. Then we can either remove something if we're particularly scared, or just play a 10th District Legionnaire. They have the blue dragon? I love those dragon sleeves. If anybody from Wizards happens to be watching, I love when you give me sleeves for Mastery Rewards, and how you've done them where they're like halfway through is awesome, so I can realistically get like more than one. I think it's like a very great reward because I do love me some sleeves. Come on, opponent, don't be rude. Maybe you're playing on mobile, to be fair, or something, you know, and I get it, life happens. Isn't that right, sweetheart? I would really not like... I really like to not have to edit out this game. There we go. Play the Snarl. We'll go ahead and reveal the Foundry, since we want to have ready access to all of our colors. Let's see, our opponent now is on Dimir. Thought Eraser, but that's not that bad, since we have a pretty safe hand. Using that right, sweetheart. I need a fluffy cat girl. Love floofy baby. Nah. They take one Legionnaire. Go ahead and just play the other one. Get a little bit of pressure in. Ah, Grixis from our opponent. But they are, you know, they also have the Nicol Bolas Ravager God thing going on. I think we'll go ahead and have a really explosive turn and just hope we don't die. We'll Defiant Strike first on the Legionnaire. Well, they have some sort of removal spell. Snarl's not the most useful. Oh, he has to have like an eliminate or something. We'll go ahead and Invigorated Rampage. Again, split over 2 creatures, because they almost certainly have some sort of removal spell here. Don't want lands, we need creatures. I need gas right now. Waiting for our opponent to do whatever they're doing. Hitting for 6 and 7. There we... Oh! Okay, that's a thing you can do. Brazen Borrower. Oh, Shark Typhoon for 0. Okay. Still a pretty goddamn explosive turn. We may be able to kill our opponent next turn. Depending on what they do. 1 and 2. Okay, so they can't get rid of both. Which is something. Do we have lethal here? So we can... I think... Hang on. Okay, so we cast 1. So... I think we're going to try here. I don't know if we do have lethal, but we're going to pull the big old lever and see if we can hit it. And we'll jumpstart the maximized velocity for even more damage. Hey! Yeah, honey, we did it! We ended that man's whole career. Playing Grixis Control. Anything we're terribly scared about? I think we'll go ahead and just run it. They probably have some, like, Nicol Bolas cards that could be removed with the Black-Red Hate card, whose name escapes me. But we have one game as to use as a buffer to see if we can just slip one in under his defenses. That is the hope, anyway. Opponent, again, won't likely go first because they appear to have a brain. A little less explosive, but we can still do something with this. And we don't have land, we do have Feather in hand. Which is not something that should be so easily ignored. We'll go ahead and Snarl, revealing Plains, and play the Lumimancer. We'll play the Den next turn, since it can come into play untapped. We don't mind if they have one bit of information. We thought I'd raise our hands away, see what we're particularly scared about. Honestly, taking the Feather is probably the smartest play. I can't really begrudge them that much. Again, we'll go ahead and Den. I suppose we just Rampage here and try and squeeze in as much damage as we can. 6 damage on turn 2 is nothing to scoff at. We can always Snarl, again revealing the same planes if we need to. We'll go ahead and Defiant Strike first. This way we can hopefully draw a card. Maybe draw into some more gas. It might just eat a removal spell. It's very possible. Alright. We'll just go ahead and again Invigorated Rampage here. And luckily, I at least still get the Magecraft trigger. Even if I don't get the spell resolved. I wasn't really expecting Negate, though that was probably a pretty good pick from our opponent here. We'll go... Oh, that's unfortunate. That doesn't totally stonewall us, but it's not good. We'll go ahead and not attack. We can draw a removal spell. That'll be great. with our Soul-Scar Mage here, turning our non-combat spells to wither spells, basically. Another Thought Eraser, but all I have is a Plains. If nothing else, we can always just play the Plains next turn, turn on the Den, and go like that. Or we can just, you know, be absolute legends and draw exactly what we need. Yay! They're not dead, but man, it feels good. This deck is... it's real fun. It's like, yay! This is gonna be a quick video to edit! Reminds me of my Wind Fury days in WoW as a shaman for a decade of my life. Anywho, thank you all for watching. That is the video for today. Liked it if you liked the video. Sub if you like my content and you want to see more. And if you have sort of questions or maybe say substitutions that you'd like to know about, that's what comments are for. Just keep it simple. And remember, stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.